back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome to my channel. You're here because you want to hear me talk shit, and I want to talk shit. So that's what we're doing. Today we will be reviewing Big Lex Baddies Collection Season 1, Episode 1 and 2. I'm going to get these videos out. You're going to see me in probably this outfit or different ones. I'm going to try to bust out a couple of videos today and tomorrow, since I'm like on a 3-day weekend. But that's besides the point. Okay, so we're gonna start with, and I know it's old, but it was requested, so we're gonna do this. It's exciting, right? Because I want season 3 to come out because I want to see what they're doing. But she's been kind of MIA, but that's besides the point. So episode 1, that's when all the girls are coming into the house, right? And can we start off by saying, you know, if you know, I always have everything on my iPad. Big Lex, her season 1, she picked actual like really pretty girls. Not saying season 2 was ugly, just saying like season 1, she picked a lot of beautiful women. And when we talk about bad bitches, it's kind of hard because a lot of people don't pick bad bitches. They pick, you know, some people that are like, you know, well known. And I think we lost the idea behind bad bitches when we go for well-known people. Like, just because she's pretty, just because she's well-known, she has a fat butt, or she could do hair, she's not pretty. Like, let's go with that. Like, not saying a bad bitch has to be pretty, but just like, it's a plus, you know. And Lex was showing, she gets off the airplane and she's showing, not immediately off the airplane to the house, but you know what it is. They're going to the house, and I love how Lex is like a very playful-ish person, and it gives, what can I say? It just really is like nice to see people who, when you see her on Jocelyn, it was like a dickhead, and then like you see that she's kind of playful now in her own shit. So it's like, okay, that's nice, that's nice, that's nice. But she's walking around the house, just saying things. It's funny, but I digress, right? So then we fast forward, all the girls are coming to the house, and they actually start introducing themselves. And at this point, I watched this like 2 weeks ago, but I've had a busy weekend. And it's not much, like, I don't really remember their names now. Like, of course, after seeing a couple of them on Nava's TV over and over and over again at this point, I know their names, but for the most part, some of them are very not memorable. They're not rememberable, right? And then, so the girls introduce themselves, they take shots, whatever. Big Lex is pretty much saying, if you want to fight with boxing gloves, and like pretty much don't be a pussy, and like if you want to fight, just fight. You don't have to address it when the camera's on. So Pink off rip wants to fight. I forget who she boxed with, but no, I think she boxed with Slim, and Slim took offense to it because Pink beat her ass. And you know, it was all fun and games, but it didn't seem that way later on, right? But I do feel like Pink did that just to prove a point. You know, as we know, since this is old, we're gonna talk about it as if it's old. We know Pink is from New York, but she also resided, hung out in the 757, and that's such a 757 bitch thing to do. Like, mind you, this sounds so rude. I'm a bitch from the 757. But when I say this is gonna sound crazy. I'm not raised by people that are from out here. Not really. Like, my people are from New York, which I don't understand a lot of the girls' things out here. So Pink is a 757 bitch down. Like, wanting to fight, wanting to argue for no reason. It's just like, or she's just a, what is it called? She's a problem starter, let's say that. And that's not saying 757 bitch. Let's go there, right? Then later on, Ferrari, oh my gosh. Ferrari pretty much told that big girl that she stinks. And let me tell you how this happened. Ferrari goes into the bathroom after her while the girl was in the bathroom. I'm not sure which way it happened. And Ferrari pretty much wanted to tell other people that the girl stink. So she has other people come in the bathroom And she's like, can you smell that? Da 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 da, woo woo woo. And in my mind, right, as adults, right, your pussy shouldn't smell rancid. Oh, sorry, not your pussy. Your box shouldn't smell rancid, but, and it shouldn't sting with, I don't know. I'm not saying I don't know, but like, I shouldn't know that you were in the bathroom. But also, if somebody does notice that you're in the bathroom because of the smell, just go about your day. You don't have to say anything. Like, you can say something to them and try to help them out, but to go around the house is kind of lame. And when I said that, I said that's such a 757 bitch thing to do, because like, instead of being a girl's girl, you want to be a TV bitch, and that's fine. We can do that, but let's, like, are we gonna be a real bitch, or are we just gonna be a TV bitch? What are we gonna do? Because realness gives you longevity. TV just has you on TV, right? And as we know, Ferrari's going places now, right? I guess she's going places. I say that very loosely because y'all don't know this, but I'm not a big Ferrari fan. I just feel like she gives me that feel of somebody who wants to be down, who everyone gassed her head up. And that's what happened. That's what happens when you gas people's head up and their head should not be gassed. That's it. But so they start, her and the big girl start fighting, and Lucky jumps in. Lucky should not have jumped. I feel like as if this, right? Lucky, Pink wasn't trying to jump in. Lucky and Ari jumped in. Unnecessary. Ari just wants to be down with anybody. Let's tell the truth. And Lucky shouldn't have jumped in. But you know Ferrari can't fight, so that's why you jumped in. Let's keep it a bean. Like, that's what really happened. And she was like, I don't know what came over me. I actually was trying to break it up. No, you weren't. You weren't trying to break it up. You wanted to jump in, right? And then afterwards, after the thing, not all of it happened, but after it slows down a little bit, and so Ferrari asks, I don't know why I want to say Safari. It's so bad. Because I'm thinking about Safari. That's why. Because of the whole thing going on with Spice. But Ferrari wants, like, Ari was like, oh, we got her in the shower and all I did was smell her pussy, and it smelled like flowers. If your pussy smells like flowers, you need to go get that shit checked. Your pussy shouldn't smell like anything, honestly. Like, it's too many adults out here that don't know about hygiene. And it's, wow, mind-blowing, right? If you don't know this, we're gonna bring you in real quick. And don't try to say, oh, that's not true. Google it, all right? Go to your gynecologist. You should not be using Summer's Eve. That messes up your pH. Anything that's floral, anything clean scent, just wash it with antibacterial soap and go about your day. You don't need all that fancy smancy stuff, okay? Unless you need it, then you do need it. But like on any person, anybody with a box, you don't need all that extra stuff. You're messing it up, right? It shouldn't smell like flowers. It shouldn't smell like chocolates. It shouldn't smell like cucumber and vanilla. It shouldn't smell like that. So that's what happens. They fight, whatever. And I was sitting there and I was like, oh my God, they just so, right? So then we go on to episode 2. So in episode 2, it opens up with the fight again. And pretty much things are being said. And Pink was like, well, if she from the 757 and I'm from the 757, so if she fight, I fight. Where is that a rule? When did that become, like, if we're friends and let me say this. Nobody cares where anybody's from, right? If we're from the same city, cool, whatever, right? And I'm gonna have your back within reason. And that's only if we're cool. My whole thing is if we're cool. If you're a cool person, if you don't bother nobody, you're doing well, if you're here to do what we came to do, then if people are jumping on you, yes, I'm going to have your back. But just because we come from the same city does not mean that I'm going to be like your bodyguard. And if we don't know each other, mind you, Pink and Ferrari didn't know each other before this whole show. So For her to be like, well, if she from the 757, nobody's gonna come up to you in Virginia Beach and be like, hey, so you didn't jump in Ferrari's fight? Da, 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 da. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody's going to do that. That's not realistic. That's not the real world. And like maybe with your lame friends, they'll do that. But like, if we're not a crew running around, and if it's not like she was jumped, nobody wants you to jump into her fight just because she's fighting. If she's fighting, let her fight. And if she can't fight, well, that's her problem. She should have sharpened up before she came to the show. All right. And then, I don't like. I don't want to say I don't like Ferrari. Like over the seasons, over shows that I watch, she's grown on me. But you can't talk that much shit and can't fight. You can't. You like. There's no possible way. You can't back yourself up. Like if she'd be like, I stand 10 on what I say. Yeah, you're gonna stay in 10, but then you're gonna fall down when somebody punching your shit. Cause we've seen it over time. Ferrari cannot fight. Like she pops it and then she's wanting other people to jump in to be like, she wants validation. And it's weird. Like we're old. You have kids. Why are we looking for? You shouldn't be seeking validation for other people. We a little old. I ain't got no responsibility. So, and I still don't seek validation from other people. Right? And we're talking about Ari jumping in. Ari to not know this. I can't get over not knowing somebody at all, and then being in the house for a few hours and knowing them for a few minutes, or even talking through text, to just automatically jump to her rescue or jump to her defense is wild. But maybe I'm not the solid one. Maybe I'm not solid. Maybe I'm twisted. I'm not sure. I don't think so, but hey, right? All right. And this is gonna sound rude, but I think Ferrari felt, and people are gonna say that's not true, right? But I felt like Ferrari wanted to be, I don't know what the other girl is. This is not gonna be a race type thing, but excuse me. But there's so many people you could have came at, right? And I'm thinking there and I'm sitting and looking at looks. There's so many girls you could have came at, so many girls you could have talked to, so many girls you could have said things to, but you came for the big one. And this is not the first time you came for the bigger girls just to make yourself feel better, but you came for the bigger one to pop your shit at. And it's fine, right? Like, I guess we could do that. But I feel like it was not intimidation because the girl wasn't really hitting on nothing, right? It wasn't intimidation, but it was like she went for people who she thought that would be easy to go over. And obviously being a bigger girl, as we all know, I'm one too. You're trying to stay out the way. You're trying not to be seen. And let's be honest, the looks that Ferrari were pulling out, I hate this. We're gonna go on a real quick tangent. A lot of you skinny bitches can't dress. I've seen this girl on YouTube do like, is it really a fit or am I just skinny? And 9 times out of 10, you're just skinny because it looks a hot fucking mess. If anybody of any size, and I'm not saying like you have to be like super like thin. Let's not say skinny, super thin. But like, sometimes it's just not an outfit. Sometimes you just put on a tube top and a pair of like sweatpants and they sag the perfect way. And everyone's like, oh my God, that's such a style. But if it was vice versa, you'd be like, what the fuck does she got on? It's not fit. So Ferrari wasn't really pulling out anything. Like, what was it? When they went out the first time, she looked like, what is it? I can't think of it. But she looked crazy. And, you know, I think they were talking about their bodies or whatever. And, because I put this down. And I was like, you got your body done just to strip in VA is wild. Because if y'all know those stripper laws out here, you can't even get naked. You can't even get booty ball naked. So, like, to get a BBL just to do that for what? But that's besides the point. And I already said that Ari's a follower. Just to turn on him the next season is wild. But we're not gonna go there, okay? So I guess afterwards, let's talk about this. Afterwards, not Pink, Lex was talking to Ferrari and everything like that, and she was talking, and she's like, "You didn't win none, but you got heart." And I'm like, "That's what matters. It does matter that Ferrari has heart." And I guess like it's nice to have heart, but also let's be kind to people. Let's do this now. I'm coming up to the era, and mind you, a lot of these girls are older than I am. I'm coming up to the era where I'm not gonna pop it unless I have to. And even then, I'm gonna be sparing people because you get more out of people when you're nicer. And not saying I want things from people, but even if I was to be on a show like that, I would not intentionally try to be mean. It's just not the point. And people are like, "Well, you gotta assert dominance." I'm intimidating on my own. Why do I have to assert it if I'm already that bitch? But that's besides the point. Alright. So after that, they're all getting ready to go to the club or go out, and Slim wants to address Pink because she felt some type of way about Pink boxing her, right? And like said that it was maybe like too aggressive, and somehow they get on the conversation about jumping into people's fights because they're from the same city. Because I'm assuming that Fendi and Slim are from the same city, or they've not been to, but like raised in cities and stuff like that. And they were like, "Where's the fuck that rule at?" And Pink was like, "Well, it's there. That's what I believe." And they were like, "Okay, I guess," because you don't fight with people you don't know. Like you fight. If my sibling, like how it was growing up, if siblings get in a fight, you fight. That doesn't go the same way for friends. Like even if my friends right now were to get in a fight, as long as it's even, bitch, do what you gotta do, right? I'm not jumping in, okay? Because like you gonna have to do it. Cause what if I wasn't there? What would you do? And that's why my friends be where they at, and they be minding their business like good people. Because they need to do what they need to do, and I need to do what I need to do. And then, I love Baby Mama. Like out of all the girls, I love the way Baby Mama looks. Like she's really pretty. Like I like pretty people. As y'all know, like I love pretty people. I love people who like I just feel like match the essence of a bad bitch. Big Lex said that. Okay, I know what I'm about to say. So in the episode somewhere, I don't remember. I think it's towards the end. Big Lex pretty much says that she keeps 110% authentic people. She keeps people that like love her and she loves them back. But that's not true. If you've seen any of like anything that she's been on, Lex does not keep authentic people, and she doesn't keep real people. She's like she wants the drama, so she's gonna keep fake and funny people around her, which is fine. But to each his own. That's my whole thing. Okay. So then later on in the episode, they go out to the club. They're all in the club having a good time, and Ari gets way too drunk. We all know that Ari is an alcoholic, and she needs to not drink at all. And she gets very belligerent, and to the point where the people that she was fighting with for is she's not fighting against. And she gets into it with Pink. And if you ever hear Pink talk, she's a real New Yorker, and it's so funny to me because it's just a different vibe and everything like that. But it was funny. Not it was funny. Like Ari needs to learn how to hold her liquor. I think she's like 30, And not saying 30's old, but just saying at least by 30 you should be able, like you've been drinking for a while, you should be able to hold your liquor. Honestly, by 22, no, we're gonna give you a little age. We're gonna give you 24. By 24, you should be able to hold your liquor. Depending on when you started drinking. I started doing it young, so by the time I was 19, I could hold mine. But other people, I know they get sloppy. That don't mean you don't black out every once in a while, but you know. But Aubrey was just pretty much way too drunk. She had to be, like escorted out the car because she started throwing chicken wings. And mind you, like, she didn't tell me, but she got that drunk. Like, these are something that you should give like heads up, like a little flag or something. And she did not. And I just thought that was like very sloppy to not say anything. Because if I know that I get really, 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 really drunk, I need to tell people that I get like wasted. But it is what it is. I will be coming back. I think that after this, I'm going to record a episode of The Mint. I'm assuming, don't quote me, guys, don't quote me. Because I think I'm just gonna review Now That's TV shows. I thought about also going to Zeus, but if you really want me to, like, I might do Baddies this year. But if you really want me to, tell me if you want me to record a Zeus, review Zeus shows. But I think I'm just gonna stay on Now That's TV. Because it's easy, it's simple, you know, 1, 2, they get to the, you know, they season only like 11 episodes. We're gonna get it out. All right. I'll see you guys in a few.